The sun had just begun to dip below the horizon when Alice decided it was time to go home. She gathered her things and prepared to leave, only to be startled by a sudden rustling behind her. She spun around to find Jack, her handsome yet enigmatic colleague, standing there with an air of mischief in his eyes. They had worked alongside each other for months, but had never gotten the chance to truly chat or even have a proper introduction. He was known to be somewhat of a loner and kept to himself most days. "Hey, Alice," he greeted, taking her by surprise. "I didn't know you were still here." She nervously chuckled. "Just finishing up some work before I leave for the day." "You know how it is." Jack took a step closer, his gaze intense but not unwelcoming. "Actually, I don't really know what your daily routine is like because, well, you're Alice, and I'm Jack, and we've never really spoken." His words were unexpected yet endearing, and they sparked something in her heart. "Right," she responded, still feeling the heat of his proximity. "Well, I usually grab a cup of tea when I get here in the morning, respond to emails, and try to tackle whatever tasks my boss throws at me." Jack nodded as he listened intently. "I do the same but prefer coffee over tea. And, well, I tend to focus more on research than answering emails." The two continued to chat, their conversation flowing effortlessly like they had been friends for ages. They discussed work and life outside of it, sharing stories, interests, and even a few laughs. As the day turned into night, Alice realized she hadn't felt this connected with someone in a long time. And as she finally prepared to leave, Jack walked her to her car, their steps filled with an unspoken camaraderie. "Thanks for making this unexpected encounter one I'll never forget," he said, his voice tinged with warmth and sincerity. Alice smiled, the feeling of connection deepening even further. "Me too, Jack. Thank you." As she drove home that evening, Alice couldn't help but feel a flutter in her chest. This unexpected office meeting had led to an entirely new chapter in her life, one filled with intrigue, possibility, and the promise of a genuine friendship blooming between her and Jack. The following week was filled with a newfound energy for Alice as she entered the office each morning. She found herself looking forward to work and cherishing every opportunity she got to interact with Jack. One day, they decided to take their camaraderie outside the confines of the office, grabbing lunch together in the city. As they strolled through busy streets and chatted about life, they discovered many shared interests, including a love for classic movies and indie coffee shops. Over time, Alice began to notice Jack's subtle gestures that hinted at his feelings for her. He would casually lean into her personal space, make eye contact just a beat too long, or brush his fingers against hers when they walked side by side. As the months went on, their relationship blossomed from friendship to something more profound and thrilling. They started dating, exploring each other's passions and desires in and out of the office. One fateful night, Jack brought Alice back to his apartment after a particularly enchanting date at an underground jazz bar. As they entered the cozy space, he pulled her close for their first kiss under the soft glow of dimmed lights. Their lips met, electric sparks igniting between them as their passion grew. The unexpected encounter that day in the office had led not only to new friendships, but a profound and transformative love story. As Jack's hands roamed over Alice's body, she felt her heart racing like never before. The night unfolded into an explosion of passion, their bodies entwined as they explored each other in every way possible. Days turned into weeks, and weeks slowly became months. Their relationship flourished, and they found solace in one another. They were madly in love, and the unexpected encounter at work had led them down a path that neither could have ever imagined. But life, of course, was never without its twists and turns. One day, Alice returned to her desk after lunch, only to find Jack's empty chair replaced by someone new. A cold knot formed in her stomach as she learned that Jack had accepted an amazing job opportunity abroad, a position he couldn't pass up. As she tried to process the news, her heart shattered into a million pieces at the thought of losing him forever. They spent those final weeks together basking in the love they shared and cherishing each moment like it was their last. But fate is a funny thing. Just when Alice believed her world had come crashing down, she received a surprising message from Jack one day. He revealed that he couldn't leave his old job behind just yet. There were still strings to untangle, loose ends to tie up. And so, to everyone's surprise, Jack decided to return to their office after all. The twist? It wasn't an unexpected encounter at the office that brought Alice and Jack together. It was fate. And as they stood in the bustling city streets or huddled together in a cozy apartment, hand in hand and hearts beating as one, they both knew that this love story was meant to be. The end.